Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Life Musings by Dr. Padmaja Nandigama. I'm your host, Sirisha Akirla, and we have with us Dr. Padmaja Nandigama, who is a psychology faculty, life coach, motivational speaker, and also an academic advisor. Today, we are going to talk about flow. If you have ever felt completely absorbed and focused in the task at hand, so happy in the moment that you forget yourself and the world around you, then you might have been experiencing a mental state that psychologists refer to as flow. So let's learn more around the concept and the meaning of flow. So what is flow and the positive psychology?
First of all, I have to tell you, Sirisha, I'm so excited to be talking about this topic because, psychology is my subject and I like psychology, talking about psychology. I teach psychology, but this is one of the concepts which really makes an understanding of why we do things, and what is the process of enjoyment we feel, right? So flow, is a psychological concept which says that feeling when we do such certain tasks which we really enjoy, that moment, that zen-like moment, that state of enjoyment is called flow. Flow here is different from pleasure. Pleasure is like, for example, you eat something which you like, you're hungry, you eat a nice meal and you feel very happy. Yeah, that is a pleasure. And you come back home after a hard day's work, you relax on the sofa, you're watching your favorite TV show. That is pleasure, right? And then, or you go to a beautiful scenic place, you are enjoying the environment there, you are enjoying the scenery, you are feeling happy. That is again pleasure, okay, right? But then this flow is kind of a state which is different from pleasure, more than pleasure, and a state called as enjoyment, where we lose our self-awareness, in the sense that we get immersed in whatever we are doing. And generally it can happen when you are with people or when you are doing tasks which you really enjoy, so that is flow.
So is it more common in artists, would you say?
Yes, everybody sort of gets into that flow zone. We may not realize it, or we don't call it that as flow, but all of us would have gone through that state, will go through that state, and we seek, that state. And here the reason for doing this episode is we want to increase those moments of flow in our life, right? So as you said, yes, artists do feel that sense of flow more often because when we do a task which we really like, which are in match with our skill set, we tend to feel that sense of flow. When we are reading good books, or when we are painting, or when we are doing any artistic skill, or when you are at work, and when you are working on a project which really gets to you, which is challenging, which is really a fit to your skill set, you really get into that state of flow. You just want to stay there, and then time flies. Seconds becomes minutes becomes hours, and then you realize, wow, I just spent like 6 hours on this and I was not aware of it. But then look at the sense of enjoyment or the achievement, that is called flow, Yeah.
So what about the flow and the social interaction that you were talking about?
Yeah, see, as I said, we can achieve this flow in many situations at work, and especially, we need to have this tasks when what we're doing should be goal oriented. There should be a goal, and our task should be challenging enough. They should not be easy or they should not be hard. They should be challenging enough that you want to keep going at it. Because if you don't have a challenge, you're going to achieve the task easily and it's done. You're not even having time to get into that zone of enjoyment, that persistent enjoyment, or that challenge where you are pushing yourself, right? So and you need a feedback too, so that you can understand how you need to change to get into that flow state. So the reason I mentioned all those three, because your social interactions with your friends provide you this. So a lot of people say, do they not feel that Zen-like moment, or do they not feel that flow-like moment when I'm alone or when in the solitude? Because I'm not disturbed by anybody, right? At that when you're in by yourself, exactly. You're not going to attain that Zen moment because you're going to be bored. You're not challenged. You're doing whatever you want to do. With social interaction, especially with family, we feel really at sync with our goals. Even when your goals are in sync with your friends, or with your family, or with the person you're interacting, when you're complementing each other, you feel good. Because you're getting this feedback, you're getting this reinforcement. So even without going into the details of flow, when do you feel happy? You feel happy when you're surrounded with your friends, surrounded with your family. And if you really look at what is that makes you feel happy when you with your friends, especially same age group or people with same goals or same taste,
same interest,
because your friends help you be who you are. You are not judged. You are allowed to take risks.
Correct.
You are allowed to think out of the box. You are allowed to challenge yourself. And they reinforce that. They help you achieve that. They help you get into that state of flow. So when you are having all these things in your friends, in your social interaction, and you feel that Zen-like moment, and you want to be there, and you really feel nice after that moment. Yeah.
So are there any other ways to enter to flow?
One thing is like choosing tasks, challenging yourself.
Yeah.
See, boredom is one which is very easy here, especially in this kind of world which we are living in. Pleasure is the key. Now everybody is working hard to get the pleasure, right? It's available right there.
Yeah.
People are having whatever food they can have, whatever merchandise they can buy. The TV is there. You can just lie down, not do anything. Yeah. So where is the challenge? And we assume that is going to make you happy. No, it's not going to make you happy. And also, the research has found that, people who are having lots of money or people who are having fame are not happy. The reason that they're not happy, because when you have things in abundance, what you have is pleasure or luxury. You're not having flow. And people who are in this zone of flow or enjoying this moment of flow are more happier, because it is not about your monetary benefits, or it is not about your how you look or things like that, or your fame. It is that fulfillment of your need to be challenged.
That's true. Like self-satisfaction.
And especially when your skill set match that challenge. Imagine, take yourself to that situation when you felt so good after taking a challenging task of finishing a complicated painting, or a complicated project which you didn't think you could do, which your boss didn't think that you could do, or you thought that you were not good enough to do, right? So that is that flow, which is achievement, the sense of, in a way, you're feeling reinforced for your skills, because you thought you couldn't do, but you challenge yourself, you put yourself out there and you achieve that, right? So that is what we are seeking. And people who enjoy this flow are more happier than people with money or with, fame or whatever. Yeah.
Wow. So, what is the importance of this flow in workplace?
As I said, again, always choose tasks which are achievable yet challenging.
Yeah.
Achievable yet challenging. Because if you choose harder tasks, if you don't achieve, then you're going to give up.
Yeah.
Then you are not even going into that state. You're not even paving the path to reach that state. So you have to, and also surround yourself with people who are going to support your goals, who are going to complement your goals, right? So, and also have those skills which will take you towards those goals. So you have to build those skills to achieve that flow state, right? And for that, you need to take a look at your own skill set. What is that makes you tick in this world? Your own talent. Look at that, and then work on it, build that and choose. This is very important. You have to choose those tasks, goal-oriented tasks, and you need the feedback too, which is going to motivate you to stay on the track. And it has to be a mix. It has to be a coming together of your skills and expectations and challenges. That is what will give you flow.
So that means setting up a goal is very important.
Setting up a goal is very important. See, that is why you find people who are bored, who are not challenged, will never achieve that flow state. So if they're going to wear themselves out of challenges, if they're going to always choose tasks which are easy to achieve, if they are always going to laze around, if they're not going to take up challenges, they're never going to, and they're going to face boredom. And what happens when you face boredom? That's what you see in your youngsters these days. Or people who are not challenging themselves they get bored and they think that boredom is depression. Sometimes it even leads into depression because you're bored. And what do people do when they're bored? They seek illicit drugs, illicit sex, illicit pleasure activities. So that leads to bad habits. So keep yourself challenged all the time. Look for that moment. Because let me tell you, when you challenge yourself in terms of your work, art, or your skill set, you are going to achieve that moments of happiness, that moments of zen, which is going to an immediate boost of dopamine, oxytocin, all those good stuff.
Yeah. Right? And even if you get bored or you don't feel challenged in one thing, maybe they should just change their goals or try new things.
Yes,
right?
Change their goals, change their surroundings, change, look for ways to keep yourself going, occupied. See, again, this is going to merge into your ikigai, right? Yeah. So choose that purpose, which is going to keep you in that flow zone. And imagine this, it's sounds like an utopia, right? Right now, being in that state of accomplishing things which you're really made for, which is a merger of your flow, your ikigai and your skills, purpose and skills.
Obviously the meditation too.
Yes, right? Meditation. That's because, flow. See, the meditation, the yoga, all these things will help you, pave the path towards they create this state of mind, right? So when you're doing your meditation and yoga, you have these alpha waves, which are emitted from your brain, which make you feel like in that Zen moment, right? So this flow also generates something like that, in a moment where you lose your awareness of your surroundings. You don't know where you are. There could be a lot of hustle bustle around. There could be a lot of people talking, or there could be a lot of criticism around. But you are enjoying that moment. You are enjoying that challenge.
And I would also actually add, even meditation will help you think. It will bring some clarity.
Right, clarity of thought.
What to do.
Yes. See, that is like a preparation for you to get into that challenge, to open up your mind to take up the challenge.
Yes.
So meditation, yoga, and all this exercise will, eating healthy diet will open up your mind to understand that, yes, I can do this. I should challenge myself. And then you challenge yourself, you build your skill set, you put them together, and you then achieve this state of flow.
That's true.
Right. So, and as I said, most of us have, experienced that, but you don't know.
Right.
And then you wonder, why don't I feel happy? Why don't I feel that clicking? Why that's like a lock and key mechanism.
Yeah.
When you have that flow, it is the lock and key of your skill set with your work challenge. So that's when it locks, you feel that aha moment.
Yes.
Right. And like, say, for example, like, people ask me, Padmaja, why are you doing, for example, why are you doing this TV show? People have asked me, what gives for you to do this TV show? That zen, that flow. Whenever I share a concept or whenever I lecture with, and when I talk for 20 minutes and I explain that concept and I see that reinforcement from my students, their heads nodding or they're showing their approval of a concept, I feel good. I've gotten what I'm set out to do. I get into that flow moments when I do that, that kind of thing which I'm looking for.
And this is the best thing. I mean, you're teaching,
right?
You're learning at the same time.
Yeah. And people also ask me, like, you do this teaching, you do this in and out, the same thing. Don't you get bored? That's why I make it interesting by challenging myself, by teaching them new concepts, giving them new examples, staying myself abreast with whatever new technology is happening in the field of psychology, and I make it interesting for my audience and my students by quoting new examples, new day-to-day events. So I'm challenging myself to give them new examples and new material every day or every class, so that they are more interested and they come back for more. So yeah, so it is that kind of thing. All of us should find that. Yes. And if you find that at work, your benefit is twofold. One, you are enjoying the process, you are staying in the moment, you are putting your best. Also, your an organization is going to recognize that, and it is going to take you to new levels of achievement, right? So you are achieving two goals: one extrinsic goal, and other one is intrinsic goal, and that is what is more important. Being happy intrinsically for something that is coming from within is more important. Okay, money. How much of money is going to make you happy? Right. If you have tons of money, okay, you'll go to two other more vacations. But what is that is going to make you happy ultimately? Ultimately you got to come back home from the vacation, right? True. You can never say, people also get bored staying on vacation 24/7, right? Yeah. I get bored. Yeah. I need that.
You can't travel all the time.
Or travel all the time. That 2-3 day break is enough. Yeah. After that, you want to come back, you want to challenge yourself and again achieve something. So, everybody should have that intrinsic motivation to achieve those intrinsic goals so that you can enjoy the flow.
It's something like, eating outside for 2-3 days and they just want to come back home and eat our homemade food. Right?
Yes. So like that is like that. Yes. Yeah. So I as I said, I really, this is like a concept, like an abstract concept flow, like a happiness kind of thing, the Zen thing. So everybody should experience this, and it is achievable. It is free. All you need to do is look at your skill set, challenge yourself, and keep going. Yeah. So it's a way of life.
That's true. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we have time for today. As always, thanks for joining us. We'll see you all again next week. Watch us live on Mana TV International with YUPP TV, and for repeat telecast, subscribe to Mana TV on YouTube and also like our Facebook page to stay connected. As always, stay healthy, stay happy, and stay smiling. Goodbye.
And stay with the flow. Yes.
Yes.